Trevor Noah was talking with a racial activist, and they started getting into this whole conversation about how maybe races should all just stick to their own. Watch this.
I know what your shout means. The same way an Italian knows what an Italian shout means.
Yeah.
Right? I know I'm prefacing it with a lot because it's a loaded question.
Yes.
But I would love to know if you think integration was the right solution, maybe, on the other side of, America, of civil rights.
Yeah. No, I don't. And I don't think it's actually that controversial when if you understand that segregation and integration weren't the only options. Like within those two options, it may seem like integration is the more progressive. Like, of course, we don't want segregation. But again, when you're being integrated into institutions, into a culture that's a supremacist culture, that's a culture that feeds off of hierarchy, that feeds off of insecurity, anxiety, why are we being integrated into that?
There is a really, really good video you guys have to check out. I forget who made it, but essentially it's this comedy bit about how racists and woke people essentially believe all the same things. They really do. Because if you're a racist, you don't want people around you who have different skin color than you. And what they're saying in this video is the exact same thing. They do not want different people around them because you're white and you're mean to us and there's invisible oppression boundaries and you have supposedly set them up in order to keep us down. And so we want to stay away from you. That's basically what they're saying in that, which of course is racism. That is racist. And you can call it reverse racism if you want. It's just racism. And again, what's ironic about this, by the way, is it's the exact same logic that fuels anti-Semitism. It's the same thing that Nazis said about Jews. It's the reason why they put them in gulags, for instance. That's essentially what Trevor Noah is calling for in this video. The whole anti-Semitic argument is this. The Jews are oppressing us. They're pulling the strings of society to put us down. Therefore, we have to stop them. They're the boogeyman. They're doing all this crazy stuff in the background, and we need to stay as far away as possible from them. And again, in some cases, like we saw in Germany, they need to go to their own little place, their own little quarters. Tell me, really, you can tell me in the comments, how is this any different from that? It's really the exact same thing. And a lot of it comes down to a power grab, I think. And I think part of this movement, I will say, it comes from genuine racism. I think there are people like Trevor Noah who genuinely hate white people. But I think more than that, it's a power grab for many people, because if people like this can pit white people and black people together, for instance, then they suddenly have a following. And again, if white people and black people get to know each other, they find out that, yeah, there's some cultural differences, but I don't really care all that much. Well, I'll say this, one of my favorite moments of Am I Racist, if you haven't checked it out, you should watch it, that the Daily Wire made with Matt Walsh, is that Matt Walsh kind of goes to the South and he talks to these kind of like real gritty white guys, rural, America, and asks them about black people. And they're like, I just don't care. Like, what? I don't care. Like, do I go out of my way to talk to them like a weirdo? No. Like, do I have a ton of black friends? No, I live in a predominantly white place. Like, that might be what they're saying. But do I hate black people? No, they just don't care. And they don't, again, these people like Trevor Noah and this lady, I don't know her name, they don't want mixed communities any more than racists do. Because if there were mixed societies, they would realize that they really don't care about the pigment of each other's skin. It just doesn't matter all that much. But they can't have that because they want people divided. I actually think it's one of the most sinister things that the left has done. They've done a lot of sinister things over the last century. But I think since the civil rights movement, it's one of the most sinister things they've done to divide Americans just on the basis of race in order to maintain power. It's truly sickening. But fortunately, people are waking up to this crap. This is super interesting. I don't think I've shared this on the show before. This is the exit polling from this last election by race, and it really shows you how people just don't care as much about race when it comes to politics as maybe the mainstream media or celebrities like Trevor Noah would have you think. So again, these are the exit polls. 57% of white people voted for Trump. 13% voted for Trump. 13% of blacks voted for Trump. 46% of Hispanics voted for Trump, 40% of Asians voted for Trump, and 68% of Native Americans voted for Trump. So black Americans really are the outlier there. But the other minorities that you see in there aren't actually really split between Democrat, Republican. Like you're seeing 46, 40%, 57, 68. Native Americans are quite a bit more on the Republican side than Democrat. Blacks are a lot more on the liberal and Democrat side than the Republican conservative side. Everyone else is very balanced, very balanced. Hispanics, 46%. You just don't get more balanced than that. But again, people on the left would have you believe there's this massive Democrat-Republican divide, and it just doesn't exist. And I think that's actually a very good thing that it doesn't exist. It's frankly a very new thing as well, but I think it actually shows progress. I'm not talking about progress towards non-racism. I think we've been there for a long time. I'm saying progress in the other direction, from people realizing, yeah, we're not oppressed, and white people don't hate us. Everyone's like, we don't really care what the color of your skin is. This tax season, the IRS wants your money, guys, but luckily I've partnered with a business that hates the IRS as much as you do, and so they fight to get you every single dollar back. Quick Tax America. Quick Tax America does all federal returns for only $69. It's a completely transparent price because it's their only price, and they do all the work, unlike the big services where you got to spend 4 hours. All you have to do with Quick Tax America is answer a few basic questions, upload your tax documents, and schedule a 15-minute finish your return call with the tax professional, and they do all the rest. So go check them out at quicktaxamerica.com, or you can go to the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, go down below, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and watch another video.